Hi guys, welcome back to the Home and Homestead. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new, I'm Rebecca. So today we're going to be heading to the kitchen. We're going to prepare an item for going into the freeze dryer. We're making some freeze-dried baby carrots, and I'm going to be using these for dog treats. Now humans could certainly eat these, but our dog really enjoys a baby carrot, and when they're freeze-dried, it ends up with a nice crunchy and nutritious little dog treat. So that's what I'm going to be making today. But first we need to do a few steps before we even get that into the freeze dryer. So let's head to the kitchen so we can start to prepare some baby carrots for freeze drying in order to make some dog treats. So here I have everything I'll need for doing the first step of the process of making our freeze-dried dog treats. I have 6 pounds of baby carrots. I like to use this preparation of carrots because they're already prepped, peeled, and cleaned and ready to go. You could certainly use just regular carrots. Just make sure you peel them and clean them really well and get them to the size and shape that you want for freeze drying. I also have a nice pot of water that's boiling and a nice big bowl of water with ice cubes in it. So first what I'm going to do is get a few nice handfuls of our baby carrots into our boiling water. We're just going to cook them in this water for a few minutes. These are going to brighten up to nice, beautiful, deep orange color. And that way our baby carrots will maintain their texture once freeze-dried. So we'll allow them to cook in this water for just a few minutes. And once they reach that point, I'll stick them into this bowl of ice water. And that's the process of blanching. So I'll do this in different batches until we go through this nice big bowl of baby carrots. All right, so this batch of carrots has been cooking in this water for about, I'd say 5 to 7 minutes here. They have a nice rich orange color to them. We'll get them into this icy water to stop that cooking process. Then we'll get the next batch of carrots in here. Then once these carrots in the ice water bowl have cooled down, I'll get them loaded onto the freeze dryer trays. All right, here we have all 5 of our freeze dryer trays filled with our blanched baby carrots. So we finished step 1 of the process. So now we can move on to step 2, which is optional, which is pre-freezing the blanched baby carrots in your freezer. I like to do that because that saves my freeze dryer that little extra step during the process, and it can be easily done in my own freezer. So I just simply stack them up, stick them in the freezer for 5 to 10 hours, and then I move on to step 3, which is the actual freeze drying of the baby carrots. If you didn't want to do that step, you could certainly put them in the freeze dryer and start from the next step that we'll do together. So I'll just get these into the freezer and freeze them for 5 to 10 hours, and we'll come back for the next step, which will be programming our freeze dryer for the actual freeze drying process. All right, so it's the next day and our carrots have been pre-frozen. So now we can get our freeze dryer all programmed and ready to go. So here I have my Medium Pro Harvest Right freeze dryer with the pump off to the right. So now let's put the settings into our freeze dryer. So first we'll press Customize. And for initial freeze, I'll keep it at -10 degrees Fahrenheit. Extra freeze time, I'll keep the same. Dry temperature, I'll keep it 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And extra dry time, I'll kick that up to 3 hours. Press save, and then start. So now the machine will go into a 15-minute prep cycle, which is perfect time to get our trays all ready to go into the freeze dryer. Now the freeze dryer has finished that cycle, so we'll need to do 3 things. We'll load the trays into the freeze dryer, we'll close that drain valve, and we'll hit continue. So now we can load our trays of baby carrots that we blanched and have pre-frozen into the freeze dryer. So to close the drain valve, the valve is currently parallel with the drain. We're just going to turn that valve perpendicular. And now it's closed. And now we'll hit continue. Now our freeze dryer will go through the various cycles to get our baby carrots freeze dried to make our dog treats. We'll come back once that process is all finished. Alright, so our baby carrots have finished freeze drying. So it says process complete. So we'll need to open the drain valve, then we can select no defrost, more dry time, or defrost. So first let's open that drain valve to vent. That way we can open the door and check if we need to add more dry time for our baby carrots. Nope, they feel nice and dry. I think these are ready to go. So I'll hit defrost. And now that I've hit defrost, this screen comes up. So it says to keep the drain valve open, remove your product from the dryer and close the door, then hit continue. The defrost time it has set is 2 hours. So we'll remove our baby carrots. Close the door again. And then we'll hit continue. Now the machine will go through its own defrosting process and drain away the ice that's built up in the chamber through the drain valve. So now let's head over and we'll take a look at our freeze-dried baby carrots that we'll use for dog treats. Here we have our freeze-dried baby carrots. They have a nice light orange color to them and really airy, and in the inside it still has a nice bright orange color. They're nice and crispy with a great carrot flavor. So now what I like to do is gather these up, and since I made these for dog treats, I have a nice clamp top airtight container that I use for little treats and goodies I want to get to quickly and then seal back up again. Then the remainder I like to gather up and store in my Rubbermaid take-along containers. These are a nice large size and it's flat and easy to stack and store, and it keeps the freeze-dried items nice and crispy and crunchy for a decent amount of time. If you're planning to make these and store these long-term, you could certainly put them in Mylar bags and they would keep much longer. So now let me gather these up and put them into the storage container, and for the most important part, let's see our dog Greta have a taste of her baby carrots that we freeze-dried for her treats. As you can see, our dog Greta really enjoyed these freeze-dried baby carrots. They have a nice light and crunchy texture to them, which make them a wonderful option for a dog treat. But they're also quite delicious, and they make a nice crunchy, nutritious snack for your family to enjoy as well. The only ingredient was a carrot. And we just did a few extra steps prior to getting them into the freeze dryer to get them to this point. And as you can see, with the fresh baby carrots to the left and the freeze-dried baby carrots to the right, they really have maintained their size and shape pretty well, even after being freeze-dried. And once you crunch into them and bite into the baby carrot that's been freeze-dried, the inside has a nice bright orange color, and it has a wonderful fresh carrot type of flavor still. Now I like to store my freeze-dried baby carrots in a glass clamp top jar such as you see here, and I just quickly open it up, remove a few and shut it again, and they stay nice and crunchy and fresh in that. And then the extra freeze-dried baby carrots I keep in my Rubbermaid take-alongs container, and that keeps them nice and crunchy for a number of weeks to a few months. and then I just refill the glass clamp top jar as needed. So if you do have a freeze dryer or are interested in the freeze drying process and eventually get yourself a freeze dryer, I hope that you give these freeze dried baby carrots a try. If you'd like more ideas or inspiration on other items you can freeze dry, be sure to check out my freeze drying playlist. And if you enjoy food preservation, canning, dehydrating, things like that, you can also check out my playlist on that topic as well. Well, if you're new to the channel or haven't done so yet, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe. So please be sure to hit that subscribe button below and continue to watch my channel, The Home and Homestead, for some more homemade, homegrown, and home style inspiration. Well, I surely hope that you're having a wonderful day. See you next time. Take care.